Hey guys.
Hey everybody. So today we're making a video because somebody in our Discord wanted to know about how do they deal with community criticism, or in other words, the haters.
Right.
So that's what we're going to be covering today.
Right, because a lot of the times we have community judgment, we have the media talking about us, we have other opponents that are talking smack, and how do we deal with that?
Random people from Reddit or VLR, whatever community you're coming from, and it can be really difficult to deal with. So these are going to be the top 10 tips from us about how to deal with that.
Yeah, let's handle this the healthy way. So number one, you really want to let things touch you and hit you first. We don't want to run away from criticism. You got to let it in. Whatever it is, how hard it is, whatever people are saying, you first have to face it. And that creates an acknowledgement, an acceptance of what's happening. Otherwise, what happens is that little voices in your head are going to start saying every time you do something, oh, if I do this, people will judge me. So if you face it, if you let it hit you, if you really let it land on you and feel what you feel about it, that will create you just accepting what is. It already is happening. It's already out there. It's all good. So number one, feel it fully.
Yeah, and this kind of leads to number two. Like, obviously, it's going to be painful.
Yes.
Never feels good to hear tough things. But just like anything else in life, any challenges, we can use this as an opportunity to grow. Can use this as an opportunity to grow emotionally, mentally, even physically. If this is hurting you physically, you can see what it's bringing up for you and realize that this is triggering something within me. And now I have an ability to grow from this and overcome this. Because we really have to see that the people that are sending these negative vibes out or saying these things about us, it's not really about you. They're projecting something and seeing something in your play, and it's triggering them as well. So take this as an opportunity for you to grow personally and don't take from the outside what's coming in. Number three is, if there's any validity to the criticism that you're receiving, improve that. Instead of taking it personally, like we were just talking about, see if there's like some logic behind what they're saying, and then just improve that thing. Don't take the rest of the comment, the rest of the criticism that is kind of over the top. Just let that stuff go. But first, look at what is actually being said and be like, okay, maybe there's some truth to that. I can work on this. This is how I'm going to do that. And obviously, it takes a little bit of mental strength to see it that way. But if you shift your mindset, you can start to frame it that way and actually start to improve it.
Yeah.
Number four, on the other hand, is the literal opposite. If what they're saying to you, if the criticism does not have any validity, try to imagine a scenario. You're in the middle of a big plaza in Russia, okay? Surrounded by Russian people. And they're all screaming at you. Everyone's screaming at you in Russian, foreign language. You've never heard this before. You don't know one word. They're all screaming at you. They're making weird, mean faces at you when they're talking. How do you think you're going to take it? It might not feel good, but again, you're probably not going to care in the slightest because you don't even know what they're saying. You have no clue what's going on. And so your mentality is just going to be able to drop it and let it go. So we're going to do the same thing here. If it doesn't have any validity, act as if they're speaking to you in a foreign language. It just has no relevance in your life, in your process, in your progress as a player. Let it go. Just treat it as garbage that just needs to go to the trash, and you never have to see it or feel it again. If you can start to do that, you can start to focus on, again, the things that are valid and you need to work on, and become that mentally resilient person that doesn't get affected from things that aren't for you. Okay?
So number five is really about accepting that this is the path you chose. The path you chose is being in the public eye, and that will always come with some type of scrutiny, right? Because that much eyes on you will always be given in a form of multiple opinions. There's always too many opinions on the table. Some people just want to talk about it to get into the hype. Some people just want to voice their opinion. And you're always going to get, you can never please everybody, right? Even if you try to be perfect.
No matter what.
Exactly. So being in the public eye means criticism. If you're not getting criticism, you're not being seen.
You're not doing something right.
You're not doing something right. Exactly. So accept that it's a part of the profession. Just like if you were working in a 9-to-5 job, you have to show up at somewhere at 9 and leave at 5, right? It's just a part of the journey.
Yeah.
So start accepting that it's all on them. It's the fact that there's multiple people trying to agree on one topic and not really about the topic that is you. So number 6 is really about letting go of the idea that you can control the situation, because you can't. It's completely outside of your control. It's what other people are saying and doing. All you can control is you. So take a lot of relief, a lot of sense of empowerment in the way that you choose to respond to the situation. This is your point of control. How do I take it? How do I let it affect me? And how do I respond to the situation? And so it depends on the validity and the situation itself. You can choose what to do. You can choose to ignore it completely, just brush it under the rug and move on. You can choose to say something. You can choose how to say it, when to say it, from what intention you're saying something. You can choose to completely either ignore it or accept some part of it and admit to it, or maybe talk to somebody about it. So it's your choice to how to deal with the situation, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, you don't want to sink down to their level, you know, like that's the obvious thing. So if you do feel like you need to respond in some way, just take note of what is kind of staying at the level that is like a appropriate level, that is a fair level for you. You don't want to sink down, but at the same time, you do have control in this part, which is what Karen is saying. So you want to exercise that control in a way that feels right for you, rather than completely feeling like the world is hitting me and I have no control whatsoever. That's not really the case.
Take a little bit of a gap before you decide how to answer, so you can pick the right answer for you, so you don't do it in the heat of the moment, and then choose the best way. Maybe you go through your coach and they talk to their coach, or maybe you respond publicly, or you just move on, or you apologize, or whatever it is, you can choose the right response for you, something that represents you and keep you intact.
It would be unfair for us to not talk about this, though. It is important for you to understand that with all of your actions, there's always consequences in life. So the same thing goes here. So I know in the heat of the moment, it's going to spark up a lot of emotion, obviously. That's what we're talking about here. So you don't want to act on pure, raw emotion.
Right.
You want to be logical as well and make sure that this is going to represent you well. Because a lot of these, I'm going to call them keyboard warriors, are just typing away with no repercussion because they're online. So you want to remember that if they're coming to you, they're trying to get a reaction. So just keep that in mind. Don't go over the top and don't do too much. It's going to take you outside of what is like within your consequences that you want to face.
Right. You are in control of your image. So number 8 will be about really considering what will be a good use of your time, your focus, and your energy, because you want to be good to yourself, right? So they're not being nice to you. They're saying mean, negative things and criticism on you, but you want to be good to yourself. So you want to think, where should I give my time, energy, and attention to? So we have this quote that we love that says, wherever attention goes, energy flows.
One of my favorites.
What does that mean? Think about that. That's so deep. Whenever you think about something and you direct your focus there, all of the energy goes there.
Your mental energy, your physical energy, the energy that meets the other person. It all goes to that thing.
So if you choose to put your attention too much on the negative or on the criticism, you're going to sprout more of that. And we don't want to do that. So this number is really about considering what will be a good investment of your time.
So number 8 is, we've already kind of alluded to this, but it's knowing deeply that what people are saying is more connected to kind of their garbage than anything related to you.
Yeah. People are trying to type away things that are, or say things to you that are mean. It's because they are feeling pain. It's because they feel mean to themselves. They say the same stuff to themselves in their heads. It's mostly 90% not about you. It's about other people's garbage, their pain, their thoughts, their way of not being released. They feel unheard, so they scream louder. Whatever it is, it's really on them. It's not on you.
Yeah, we call it garbage because it is. It's kind of trash that doesn't belong there. It's just stuff that is kind of regurgitated in and we can let it back out. We don't mean it in any personal way towards anybody, but it's pain. It's suffering from their circumstances, from their past. Everybody's going through something. And honestly, we feel it like it's garbage. And I hope you guys feel the same. It's not needed. It's kind of wasteful. It's not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
So don't take other people's garbage and make it yours.
Nope.
Number 9 is really about the self-reflection part of this, right? So I want you to ask yourself a question. Does what this person or people are saying, does it make me doubt myself? Is it making me put my whole self, my whole identity, my whole career in question? Because if it is, it's evoking some kind of reaction that is probably something you need to deal with, right? So we want you to reflect on that.
Yeah. So if it's making you doubt yourself, you want to think, good, now I can make some improvement points, right? And if it's not making me doubt myself, then you want to think, good. Now I know that I'm secure in my kind of identity, in my plan moving forward, and in my abilities and capabilities. So let this be a learning point to you. This is where the growth is. Am I taking it in? How is it affecting me? This is life testing me, right? Am I secure or am I not? And I can make changes based on that and get more secure, more confident, more beautiful about the things that I do.
Yeah, it's very similar to, I think it was step 2, where we talked about the growth. But this is not so much like a mental thing. It's more of an emotional and a self-assurance, self-identity type of growth and reflection. Right. Really, use this as an opportunity, to see who you are and what is mattering to you. Because you can really shift your focus onto what's important and what you can grow from.
So reflection and self-assessment.
10, to us, is the most important one. And this is what we really want you to take from this video, if anything, okay? Number 10 is any toxicity, any community criticism, any hate, any of that stuff can be diffused by grace.
Yes.
What do I mean by grace? What I mean is that you staying true to yourself, knowing yourself and speaking your truth, knowing your truth and acting from that truth can always cut past toxicity and will just bring everything right back to balance and everything. Why don't you explain that?
So when you stay authentically yourself, you are in power. I don't want you guys to change yourself because of criticism, okay? You can choose to use grace to diffuse the toxic situation. So basically you're removing the toxicity from your life and from your energy. Okay, you can choose to respond like saying, look, I hear you. I understand where you're coming from, but I still am going to do me because I believe it's the right thing to do. Or if somebody is giving you a toxic competitive attitude and you can say like, good luck. You see how that diffuses somebody? They're coming at you and saying, we're going to this, we're going to that. You have no chance. You can't shoot for your life. Whatever it is that they're saying, you can come in with grace and be the bigger person that you are. And the minute you do that, it's going to shoot your confidence to the roof because you do it because you're sure that what you're doing is the right thing. So stay true to yourself.
I just want to add, because it's the end of the video and this just came out recently, but if you guys have seen the show Ted Lasso, you probably know what I'm talking about. If you hadn't, please go watch it. It's basically everything we're talking about here and everything related to all of these topics in esports and competitive environments gets covered in this show. It's an amazing show. So Ted Lasso, go check it out. I'm giving a little shout out. But anyway.
No sponsorship.
Yeah, no sponsorship. The 3rd season just came out and this topic that we're talking about was portrayed in a press conference that Ted Lasso was in, and he was getting all this community hate. And if you want to see grace, watch that scene at the press conference. I'm going to leave you with that. It explains everything. But stay true to yourself and just be fully okay with who you are and know that who you are is not just good enough, but exactly what the world needs from you.
Right.
And that everything will gracefully fall into place and you can deal with any toxicity, any criticism.
So choose love. Choose grace, be classy, be you, and you got this. No matter what somebody says, process it, let it land on you, talk it out with your friends, with your coaches, with your environment, choose how you will respond to it, and just stay you and keep improving. That's all that matters. You will defeat any hatred that's coming your way if you continue to behave this way. Good luck out there, you guys.
Hope this helps, guys. Remember, top 10 tips from us, but there's a million more, and we're always here for more of your questions. So keep asking away. We love it, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.